guys, I'm Rori, and you are listening to Rori's Room, the podcast where we discuss anything and everything life throws at us. Welcome to Season 3, More Than Just a Job. I am sitting down with creatives and professionals who are chasing and shaping the work that they have always wanted to do. This season is all about sharing different perspectives from different fields and revealing just how those paths might have changed them along the way. This week, I'm sitting down with Brianna Moen, a dental assistant in Texas who received her Bachelor's of Science from the University of North Texas and her dental assisting certification from Pure Dental Assisting Academy. Without further ado, let's meet Brianna. How are you doing, Brianna?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm waiting for summer, of course, because I'm a summer person. Your birthday's in the summer, right?
Yes, the end of August 24th. Oh my gosh, it's my golden birthday this year. Yeah.
Mine was my sweet 16, but I feel like I don't remember it that much.
I don't know what I want to do. Me and Mark, we actually shared the same year of our golden birthday. His is October 26th, and he's turning 26 this year, and then I'm turning 24 this year on the 24th.
Isn't that so weird?
I'm excited. But yeah, it's weird that we're old.
Yeah, I feel like every time I bend down, like, my entire body cracks.
The same thing.
It's ridiculous, for real. I feel like I date myself every time I talk about my age too, so I kind of just avoid the topic. But like before I turned 24, I actually prepared a year early to like when you start a new year and you like keep writing the old date. I actually kept telling myself that I was already 24. So by the time I turned 24, I was like, oh, I thought I was already 24.
Yeah, so then you're like, I'm actually younger than I thought I was.
Exactly. It's a healing process.
Right.
That's what you gotta do. But I also feel like the 20s are like a prime time to get stuff done.
I agree.
But that it's also like super busy, of course.
Yes, literally. Trying to find where you want to go, what you want to do, money, time, everything. It's crazy.
Yeah. I can't believe it's been so long since we actually saw each other last in person.
I know, literally. Even I think, 6 years ago, 2020, but I moved at the end of... No, it was actually my junior year. Dude, I had 1 year left to graduate with everyone I grew up with, you know what I mean? And yeah, I had to spend my last year of high school in a whole new school. I hated it.
Yeah, I definitely relate to that because I think it was like the end of my sophomore year. I was moving between my mom's and my dad's. Mm-hmm. So I spent basically the last 2 years, so my junior and senior year in high school, I transferred from our small town where we grew up in to a bigger town that went from like 80 people in like the entire school to like 400 in a grade. So it was like really crazy. But then it was like a really fluctuating time because like I was back in our town for a little bit and then I went to the bigger town. It was chaotic.
Yeah.
But I definitely get what you mean.
I hate that. Yeah, I actually didn't know you went to another school.
Until now?
In what?
Until now?
Yeah, literally.
Oh, interesting.
I feel like maybe I knew that at the time, but like switching between like houses, but I didn't know you were actually going to like a whole nother school during that time as well.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I went to Chippewa Falls, so it was like right outside of Eau Claire.
I did know that. Chippewa Falls just opened up a whole... Yeah, okay. I did know
that town. It was nice for several reasons, but for home reasons, definitely not. But that's a whole other conversation.
No, yeah. I graduated the class. I guess it's kind of like the same thing because my graduating class down here it was like a little over 700 people. And I'm like, yes, dude. And then the year after I graduated, my sister was a freshman, right? That freshman class was the largest freshman class that they've ever had. And it was 1,000 kids in one grade, dude. I'm like, that you guys...
Something going on in Texas around...
No, literally. Like, you guys need to build another school because, like, this is too much. There's no way every kid is getting equal education. There's no way at all. But yeah.
That's insane. I can only imagine like how full their classrooms were. And like that's just another like thing with like the lack of one-on-one between a teacher and a student. I feel like you just don't learn as much.
Exactly. But, I agree with that.
I guess we should give audience, a little context. Me and Brianna, we grew up together in the same hometown, so we go way, way back. I can't even remember when we officially met. I feel like we've always kind of known each other. Our families used to hang out after school concerts. I don't know if you remember that.
Dude,
that was like
the best time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we would rewatch because they would record us on like the little camcorder, and then we would hook it up to the TV and we would rewatch the concert.
I remember so many memories in your basement, particularly when we were like, I don't even know how old we were at the time, probably like preteens, thinking everything was funny. Do you remember this sitting on a toilet video?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Was that on Vine or was that a YouTube thing?
I feel like it originated on Vine, but I never had Vine, and I would only watch YouTube compilations of Vine videos. So I think it was Vine, but yeah, crazy.
Were you the person that I watched, what was it called? The Rolanda videos with?
I loved those videos. Yes. Oh my gosh. I reposted some TikToks. They actually just got together. I don't know where they were at, but I can't really remember their names now.
I think one of them was, you talk about the actors or whatever?
Yeah, like in the video.
It was Alex Wasabi.
Yes.
I remember that.
Alex was the one. He had to read the lyrics like off of his phone, but then the person who played Rolanda remembered everything, okay? And like it was so funny. It was so funny. That like, oh my gosh, childhood right there.
For real, I feel like that was prime time.
Yeah.
Like, I remember so many fun things. Like, even when like songs were viral at the time, they just hit way different than the songs that produce now, like
I know.
Timber. Or like, what's another good song? I don't even know. That's one song that comes to mind.
Did you go to the middle school dance when we had those?
I went to a bunch of them, yeah. I don't know if I went to all of them, but...
You sang Timber just brings me back to the high school cafeteria when they played that song. Dude, we all went crazy.
Do you remember when people used to do like dance offs? It was like a fight, but it was like, I think it was always like Courtney and Tyler who would do it. I remember just like standing there. I get so into it too.
I had no energy for that. I was like, I don't know. I get very shy, very, very shy in public. Like when I'm with like my little group of friends, I'm like, I'm wild. But in front of everyone, I'm like, I can't. I'm like, I'm too shy. But yeah, that's too funny.
I kind of miss being in that small of a town and like being in that environment, but at the same time I also don't, because like there's a lot of reasons.
It's a like love-hate relationship, bad.
Oh yeah. I feel like I go into a fight or flight response when I'm in there, like in that town. And like anyone who grows up in a small town I feel like can definitely like understand that, like if they leave. But like some of my fondest memories were like starting my filmmaking career, like in middle school too. It was like, I feel like it was like partially like all middle schoolers' behavior, but I also had this relationship where I was like, this is kind of cringy, it's not gonna go anywhere. But also like I remember having so much fun just like editing the middle school projects. Like, yeah, what was it called?
There was
the Gold Rush.
The Gold Rush, and then there was it Clueless? I can't remember if
the Westing games.
Yes, that. Yeah, that was fun. I really like how when we did hit that certain grade, they actually allowed us to like show our creativity. Like I think a lot of people, they were just kind of like, obviously not everyone's gonna like that kind of stuff, but it allowed people who do like that kind of stuff, because it's always like, you know how like, oh, the popular people, it's always like, oh, athletics or like,
oh yeah,
you know what I mean? It's just like it allowed other people to show like or experience what they like to do. You know what I mean? So I think that was a lot of fun. And also, like you said, I think it just grew your interest in it. Like actually like putting it together and then showing it to the class. You were like, we did this. And now everyone's watching it.
Yeah, it was funny. I feel like we were laughing way more than anything else.
Literally. But I think I was more shy and embarrassed. But they were so good. I love them.
Yes. I look back in them often and I'm like, wow, that showed a lot of potential. Like, do you remember, I don't know if you've watched it recently, but in the Westing game, there was like a time where I photoshopped the explosion.
I do remember
that. So obvious. Right? Yes. It was so funny. Yeah, I definitely I appreciated those small moments, especially coming from like a smaller school who obviously favored like athleticism.
Mm-hmm.
Like, were you in band and choir?
I was in middle school, and then when high school came, I did like leave choir just because like I started getting again too shy. Like once high school came, I feel like because in middle school, I think it was required in 6th grade to have like you either go to choir or band, like you have to have one of those. Like,
well, it was like, yeah, it was definitely one of that, but I feel like the one thing that really I probably stretched a lot of people thin in music was the fact that in middle school, if you had both, you lost a study hall like every other day.
That's right. Yes. Okay, then that was probably, I know like for some reason in my head I was putting in, because I did like choir, but it was like, I think I was in it every year of middle school. And then, you know, every year you'd come back and less people were in it. Mm-hmm. And then, which was, you know, again, probably like the cycle thing, people are going up into high school and they're like, hey, like, you know, but yeah, I was like, I didn't want to be like one of the only ones in it because like going to concerts and stuff, I get shy singing in front of people too. And if it's only like 15 of us, I'm like, I'll get shy, you know? But band had such a huge, I think our school was very, very lucky to have such a large band. And, you know, I think the band wasn't, because you know in like movies, people like make fun of band people or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like our band, I don't think anyone was like, it wasn't frowned upon. Like it was actually like you had everyone from every corner of the school like in the band. You know what I mean? So I thought that was really cool.
I think one of my favorite things at the time, I was like, I didn't like doing it because you'd have to go out in the cold. But like, I feel like one of the biggest staples of arts in our school was the pep band, because we would show up at every football game and that was what hyped people up.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that a lot of people forget about moving up. One thing I think that people forget moving into higher education and coming from a small town is the impact of arts in small towns. Like the pep band definitely hyped up the football games, and without that, it would probably be less of a experience. So I think that's something that a lot of people forget about moving up in the world, you know?
Yeah, I agree with that. Because even like in the, what was it called? The assemblies. Oh my gosh, there's one key memory I have, and it was the song where it's like, where you put your hands up and they say that, you remember that?
Yeah.
Dude, the whole school went so crazy when we did that song. And I was like, that was my peak high school experience, right?
I liked Tequila.
That one was so good too. I loved it. He did really pick like good songs. I love them.
I like the fact that our instructor picked like cinematic stuff too.
Yes,
the ones that would go on. It seemed like they went on forever. But like, at the same time, I think that's another thing that like brought me into like cinematic filmmaking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I believe it or not, I haven't watched a lot of classic movies. Being like a filmmaking person, it's really weird because like a lot of people I meet are like, oh, you must have been in theater, or you must have like watched a lot of movies, and I'm like, no to actually both of those. So it's like, it's kind of weird.
Dude, that's another thing. Like our school didn't have that stuff. Like the theater class was choir. They did the plays, and that was it. Like we didn't have any like, what's it called? The people who like do the lights and stuff. I think those people were in choir as well. Like it was just very, you know, I mean, that's a small town though. Like you just don't have the money for that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't know.
You can build the gym.
Yeah,
I'm not ready to talk about that.
Exactly. Dude, yeah. And that's one of the reasons like in high school, because I was in middle school, I was in, you know, volleyball, softball. I loved softball. Softball was my favorite. But the coaches, especially when you got to high school, it was so obvious that they had favored certain people. And I was like, I actually have a story I gotta tell you. This
Basketball?
It was softball. This was my last time. I dropped out right then and there. So I don't remember, I'm just gonna say a number. I don't remember if this is the exact number, but the certain amount of people on the field, it's like, let's just say 12 people. We had for the summer league exactly 12K. We had a travel game and they said, hey, we would like one extra person to come with us just in case someone gets hurt, right? So again, all of us should be on the field, and the one extra person, she came from, I think it was, you know how Summer League, it was 14U, 12U, 6. So we were on 14U, she came from U, and she was the one extra person that came with us. When the coach was going over, like, hey, you're gonna be this position, you're gonna be this position, I had to sit on the bench. The 16U girl took my spot. I'm like, wait, this is my team.
I would have walked off the field.
But remember, I wasn't even on the field. So
off the bench.
I literally lost it. Started crying. I went and told my parents exactly what happened. I said, I'm the only one sitting on the bench. This girl shouldn't even be here. She's coming to help us in case one of us gets hurt. Oh my gosh, it caused a whole scene. I left. It was a whole day tournament. My parents took me out, and that was the last time. I was like, I'm done.
I feel like our parents were like the ones to make a scene too. They would have definitely done something about that, you know?
Yes, and I appreciate that sometimes. Other times, you know, there's negatives with that sometimes. But then
Oh, believe me, I know.
I try to put myself in that situation too, because I was very, very protective. Well, I am still. I'm very protective over my sister. And if anyone does something to her, I will freak out. So I think in my head, I'm like, you know, my parents, like, obviously, like, they're gonna stick up for me. But when you're, like, growing up, you're like, okay, you're embarrassing me, you know, like, that kind of thing. So I'm just like, because at the time I was like, let's just go. Like, you don't have to yell at them. Or even then, it was very loud. Like, it was yelling, name calling. I'm like, okay, let's just go. Let's just go. I'm embarrassed. I got to go to school with these people, you know? So, that was...
Yeah, I definitely do. I feel like a lot of sports transitioning from middle school to high school were like that. That's why I actually quit basketball, because like a lot of the girls in basketball were mean. Like, especially when we're moving into high school, if you weren't like top notch, was point guard in basketball? I think so, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, if you weren't like a point guard or like one of the point guards like friends, like you weren't good, like, you know, like. And I was never popular in high school or like in middle school or any time at all. Like, I was always kind of like doing my own thing. And I was a little weird, but like I'm proud to admit that now. Like, that's what kind of brought me here.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know, I got bullied a lot in like sports and stuff, and like I grew up kind of like bigger than everyone else, so like that was a whole thing. But like, I feel like there was so much like unsportsmanlike conduct in that transition, and like it's not necessarily the nicest place for everybody, you know?
It wasn't. Do you know, I can't remember what it's called, because like there were tryouts and you could like it was varsity
or whatever.
Yeah, and then it was like the C team or whatever. Did you notice everyone on the C team was not popular people?
Yeah, I know. That's another reason why I like left, because I was like, there's obviously like favoritism at play here.
I'm like, there is no way that just because you're popular makes you so good at the team that you just go to varsity. No, that is so messed up. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's why I just did archery the whole time. I'm like, I'm gonna just do archery, because why? There was no popular people in archery, and I was like, I can be myself here, you know? Like, and
you were so good at it too. I remember being so jealous. I was like, dang, she's good.
Dude, and
I tried archery like one time, and my parents never brought me back, but like, I actually was like pretty good. It seemed fun.
It was fun. Because I feel like because I also grew up like bigger, and I just wasn't really athletic. And it was just one of those sports where I'm like, hey, like I don't have to like be super, super active, you know what I mean? And I really don't know. I wouldn't really practice. I don't know how I was so good, because genuinely, I would just shoot and it would be good. And I was like, I just stuck with it, because I was like, hey, like, I'm actually like good at this. But the thing is what's different about, you know, us is I loved helping people. If they were bad, I loved going and being like, hey, like, because I want to help you out. I want to try to help you out. But no, if I was over there, then I would be made fun of. You know what I mean? Yeah, hated that. But it's a love-hate relationship again. Like, I miss high school. I miss Stratford school. And then I'm like, dude, I would last one day and want to leave again.
Go home like and cry, honestly.
No, genuinely, yeah. It was real.
I feel like we could definitely do a whole episode on just like all this like
Small town, yeah, literally.
Especially like the athletic areas of things, or like there's a lot of things that we could talk about. But we should definitely do that. I feel like it would.
No, that'd be so fun. Yeah.
So one thing I like to do on this podcast is a segment called Weekly Favorites. And it's basically a fun way to break the ice, so like icebreakers and stuff, and ease into our chat, make everything feel a little bit more natural. So we'll start by sharing your favorite show, which I already know the answer to.
Yes.
I'm super hyped to hear what you've got to say.
Okay, obviously New Girl. Me and Mark were just talking about this the other day. Genuinely, I don't care how many. Okay, the thing is like New Girl is such a. I don't know what it is about it. I could be in one of like the most like depressive episodes. And if I binge watch New Girl, everything in my head just kind of disappears. And I'm like, I feel like I'm in their world. You know what I mean?
To be in the New Girl.
Literally, oh my gosh. I was just telling him the other day, I'm like, no matter how many times I watch this, when Jess and Nick kiss for the first time, I cry every time. I'm like, I just love them. I'm so glad. Well, okay, I don't want to spoil. Am I allowed to do spoilers?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I already did.
True.
I don't know. I feel like there's just vibes, so like everybody can already tell that they're gonna get together. So
yes.
That's just.
Because there's so many like times where they, in like other shows or movies, they hint that, hey, you know, they like build it up, and then they don't get together. And I'm like so irritated. But Jess and Nick, they did it so well. Where like even when they do break up, and I'm not even mad about it because I'm like, no, they still have love. Like, they're gonna get back together. You know what I mean? And their friendship never changed. Like, it was just, I don't know. It was just so good. Do you remember the episode where they had the mug? Where if they had the mug out, then that means they, you know, wanted to hang out.
Like hiding their relationship from them.
Yes. And so Winston, they decided to throw the mug away. And Winston actually took the mug out of the trash. And then that night, Nick and Jess, they were already broken up, right? But they were like, no, I don't want to throw the mug away. So Nick comes out, he looks in the trash, he's like, the mug's gone. He thinks Jess took it. Jess comes out, sees the mug is gone. She thinks Nick took it, and they just are both like smiling because they're like, oh, he still cares, she still cares, but the whole time Winston took it. I just think that's so funny.
Did he end up drinking out of it too?
I think so. At the end when he was with, oh my gosh, why can I not remember the cat's name?
Ferguson.
Yes, Ferguson. Oh my gosh, dude, every single character in the New Girl world is just so good. I've actually been seeing videos of people like skipping through the Reagan era, but I actually don't mind Reagan. There's still inside jokes. There's still like, I don't know. I love every episode. So
my favorite character is definitely Tran, honestly.
Did you see when they posted on Instagram, like when he passed?
He passed away?
Yes, dude. I think he literally just passed away last year.
No.
Yes. And they literally were like posting like pictures from when they filmed together, and it was all just on Instagram, and I was like, my job was to the floor. Yes, I was like, there's no freaking way. I love him.
Now I'm gonna be sad for the rest of the
I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry. But yeah, I love him too. When they're in the bathtub or like
the swimming pool.
So good. I love it. So good. What's yours?
I feel like New Girl's the type of show that you can just like watch on repeat, and like even if you already know what's going on, it just like doesn't lose its wholesomeness, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I sometimes put it on like when I'm doing something, I just want something on in the background, or like even when I'm doing homework, but then a lot of times I'll just like turn my attention to that.
Same. It's just because I've watched it fully through like a few times already, where like you said, I can just put it on even a random episode and I'm like, I already like, it's one of those shows where there is that major plot point throughout the full show, but you can just turn an episode on and still laugh and understand who people are, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's very rare to get those kind of like shows. So New Girl.
That actually leads me into like mine too. Like, yeah. I know you've seen it. I'm pretty sure, at least. I mean, like, growing up, I remember hearing endless hype about this show and The Walking Dead. And for some reason, like, one thing that I've always done is, like, if there's massive hype around a show, I am, like, less likely to watch that show for some reason. I just feel like it's, like, I don't know how to explain it, but, like, I guess I should introduce the show that I'm recommending is The Office.
Yeah.
No, I figured you had seen it. I don't know. I've done that with a lot of things where I'll like not watch it because there's so much hype around it. Like, and that's really interesting considering I'm like a major film person and like despite not having seen a lot of these like classic television shows and stuff, but like a few summers ago I actually watched it for the first time, and I remember for the first 4 seasons, Jacob he tried to convince me that Jim and Pam were just friends, which, spoiler alert, they're obviously not.
Wait, so you just recently watched it then? Like,
yeah, it was like the summer of 2024, I think.
Oh my gosh. So that is crazy. Okay, so he was actually like, did you believe him at first?
No.
Oh, okay. So you kind of already knew.
But there was a few times where I was like, maybe he's right, like maybe it's just like one of those shows where they like bait you but don't actually get together, because that's like realistic, like, you know, like not everybody gets together, that's life, you know. But yeah, I definitely have the urge to rewatch it like a lot, because like especially for Jim and Pam's dynamic is just so wholesome. And like Michael, I didn't like his character at first, but his character development is so unexpectedly good that he really grows on you know.
Can I say, do you like the way that it's filmed? Like, do you like how
I think it's a stylistic choice. Like, I'm pretty sure like the whole point of the show was kind of like a documentary about the
like The Office, right? Or like, okay, I literally just said the name of the freaking show.
I wasn't sure. That was another reason why I wasn't sure if I'd like it. Because I was like, I've never really seen that kind of stuff. And I know the new show, The Paper, just came out and it's produced like that too. Well, but like,
Can I say a recommendation for another show that's also kind of filmed like that? And it is so freaking funny.
Parks and Rec?
Yes! Oh my gosh. Have you watched it?
I'm in the middle of it, yes.
So good. Yay. You'll have to let me know when you finish.
I will.
So good.
Yeah, it definitely grew on me the more I watched it, but that's another reason why I wasn't really sure if I'd like it or not, you know?
Yeah. Because it's not something, like, you don't see that. But also, like, I feel like it makes it very personable. Like, it's like, oh, they're not acting. I mean, but obviously they are, but they're like, oh, no, we're just, like, keep doing your everyday thing. We're just kind of in the corner recording you guys. And it's like, it makes you feel like, oh, they're actually in this office working. But yeah, really funny. I like how they don't stray away from that kind of style the whole time either. You know what I mean? So super, super good show. They did it good.
I agree. I definitely agree. I think one thing that also made it more personal is like the one-on-one interviews, and like you could still see what's going on in the background, but you could also like see what was going on inside their heads.
Yes.
Which that's one of the things of storytelling in this style of filmmaking that really brought out like the personal things in it, because like I feel like if you're in a storyline show like New Girl, like you can always see the perspectives differently in more of like a narrative way. But this, it's more like what's going on right here and now, so you don't really get like the intimacy of it.
Yeah.
Besides like really close intimate glances or like these interviews, which I really like.
Yes.
Like the interview where I can't remember exactly what happened, but it was Jim said something and then Pam was in her interview and he's like, Jim said that? Like,
I know what you're talking about. They're so cute. I love them.
I started crying though, like in so many different times, because it was like the producers would like bait it in front of us and then they like pull it away.
Yes. It was a slow burn too. Like very like at the beginning, and
I'm a sucker for a slow burn, unless it's like really slow.
Or like enemies to lovers. I love that. But yeah.
Are you a big reader?
I want to be like really bad. I know there's like, I do get like, I think TikTok thinks I'm a reader because I do like watching like and liking the videos where they're like, hey, this like series is good, or like, you know what I mean? And I really, really, really want to read books. And my problem is the first few pages have to suck me in. If they don't, I'm like, I can't keep reading this.
Yeah.
So
I feel like one thing with like reading, it's like you sometimes like, especially if you're not into reading Like, I grew up not really reading, but recently I've been trying to get more into it, and I've kind of had to force myself to sit down and read it.
And then you
But
love
like, once
it.
it gets good, like I'm like reading it for like days. And I'm a big advocate. It's been like controversial. Like, some people like it, some people don't. But like, I feel like if you're just in it for the experience, like, it's definitely a good series.
Yeah.
Have you heard of A Court of Thorns and Roses?
A cord of phones? A cord of...
A Court of Thorns and Roses, yeah.
Okay, let me write this down. I had my little note.
I think you'll really like it. I don't have the books with me right now, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's 5 out right now, and then there's a 6th and 7th one coming out this fall and next week.
I think
next week.
You reposted this on your story, right? Okay. So I clicked on it. I clicked on her post and I read her caption and I was like, because when the author loves, you could tell is it a girl who wrote it? Okay, I didn't know for sure, but from the way she wrote the caption, I was like, okay, I just assumed it was a girl. But you could tell she like loves the world that she created. And I was reading the comments and people were like saying these names, like almost like they were shipping the names. They're like, oh, they better be Endgame or something. And I'm like, that kind of sounds like I would like it.
It's really good. I think you would like it. The only thing is, at least until you finish the first and second book, you have to stay off of like book talk and like Instagram and like,
you don't want to get spoiled.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's at least get through those first 2 books. Like, it's detrimental. I remember Jordan, she recommended it to me like a long time ago, and I hadn't read it until she actually got it for me for my birthday, like in 2023. And then I read the first 3 books in like 2 weeks, and then I had to do finals, and then I like never read them again. And then recently I reread it again and I actually finished the series, but like partially through that, considering it took me like 3 years to read them, I saw this really big spoiler, and it like, I was like anticipating it the entire time. So like,
that sucks.
It's
because
it didn't happen as I thought it would, but like,
you know what I do when I read though? This is so bad, but like because pretty much all the books I've read, you don't know how the book is gonna end at all. Like, and I'm reading the last chapter and I'm speed reading and I'm like, okay, I need to know. And I'll be like, let me just read like the last page.
No!
I know. It's so bad.
One thing I've been doing that's like forced me to slow down. It's so nice. It took me a little bit to get into it because like, this is what it's like annotated. So I have like a whole pencil piece full of like highlighters and pens and stuff. So like, I highlight like my favorite parts and like bookmark like my favorite parts and stuff like that. It's also really pretty. I recommend it, like doing it. But then like, I'm an avid rereader, so looking back on things, like I can like definitely like flip through a page or something and see what I'm writing and be like, she had no clue what was going on, you know, like my feelings in here, and then like go back and reread it, and it's like,
that's cute.
Yeah, I don't know, it's awful.
Because that's kind of how I feel like I would be too, because I was thinking, I'm like, maybe I should because if I buy all these books, I have no place. But then I'm like, I also don't want digital books because I like having the physical copy and like being able to highlight, right? I mean, you can do that on like, you know how they have the digital, I like hands-on.
I don't know, there's just something about having the physical copy and like highlighting it, you know? Yeah, that's all, like annotating has really allowed me to slow down. Like I kind of do something similar where it's like I'm reading and I'll like, if something really, really good is happening, I'll like glance to the next page like really quick, but then I'll have to like cover it. But like annotating has really allowed me to slow down, and it's good and bad. Like if there's something like a really intense scene could be happening, and I'm like, I remember the last like 50 pages of the last book of A Court of Thorns and Roses series. I remember like ugly crying. I could barely see like anyways because like I was just like sobbing. And like I'd have to like aggressively uncap my eyes and like try to stay in like the immersive like world. And then I'll like highlight an entire paragraph because it's just so good. But like it was definitely a chore a little bit. But like I also like I loved highlighting things,
Yeah.
And like, especially if you want to like recommend things to people, it's really easy to just like open that bookmark and like flip to that page,
Right. Yeah. I want to. I always go look at the book section like in Walmart or Target, and I'm just like looking because I think they're so pretty. Like people have like your bookshelf. Oh my gosh, I just love it. Like I just wish I could have something like that, but I just need to start reading. So
yeah. Well, if you ever want, I have a Barnes & Noble premium membership, so I can ship you a book. It's like 10% off. I think it's really nice.
Nice. Yeah, I have one like right down the street. We have the mall like right here. I always like going in there, but I never buy anything. I know.
Jacob took me there for my birthday, and I've never like really been a big reader, but I wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we spent like an hour or an hour and a half in there, and then we went to dinner, and then we came back because it was in the Mall of America, so we had to go out. I was like, we might as well stop again.
Aww.
And then I bought more books. Oh. Like, oh my god! And then like we were in Minnesota, and then we ended up going back like to Barnes & Noble, like a different one, at like 3 other times. So it was like, I might as well get this premium membership.
Yeah.
It's only like $30 a year.
Oh, that's so good. You're gonna save so much more money, like just paying $30. Okay.
So like, it's $30, and then it gives you like for every $100 or something you spend, or I don't remember exactly what it is, but you get like points. And so like for every however many points you get $10 back or $5 back to spend on more books.
That's nice.
And I think I've already gotten like $25 back.
Oh.
So like I pretty much made it back. But yeah, it's definitely worth it if you're a reader.
Right.
But like also support your local bookstores,
Yes, I agree.
Can you share your first encounter with dentistry as a child, such as like your consistent visits with your braces and how that sparked interest in your field?
Yeah, so I, remember going to like the pediatric dentist, everything, like the one in Marshfield that my mom would take us to, it was just always so colorful. I loved going to the dentist. I really don't think I ever caused any problems going to the dentist. And then it came middle school where I had to get braces. I remember being super excited to get put in braces because I felt like that was such like an accessory, like it was like, oh, this is fun.
I was actually weirdly jealous of people who had braces.
And you're lucky to have not had them. So once you get them put on, you're like, dang, I just need these off. But yeah, I was super excited. And, you have to go in every month, get them adjusted, get the bands changed. But I loved going every month. It opened up like a new area of dentistry that I've never like seen before. I mean, they're like calculating all this stuff to put on your teeth, how to move your teeth, shift your teeth a certain way. The terminology they would use, it was just very, very interesting. I loved going there. And then I was like, I feel like I could really work in a field like this. And, people, because my mom, she's like, she thinks people's teeth are gross. Like she hates like anything about teeth. And when I told her, she was just like, that's so gross. That's disgusting. Why do you want to work in that? And I'm like, I never really thought of it as gross. You know what I mean? Like, it's a doctor. So it's like, if you're a doctor, like that you shouldn't find that stuff gross, Yeah. So I was like, well, I don't find it gross. Like, I find it interesting. And, I had that dream since, middle school. And that's what really sparked my interest in dentistry, I guess, from braces. So, yeah.
Is there a lot of like mathematics in that kind of?
I am so happy you asked, because guess what I just found out yesterday, literally just yesterday. And this is what's kind of making me, because I'm a dental assistant in general dentistry, so we do a lot of crowns, fills, that kind of stuff. So working in that, I do find it very interesting. I could see myself being a general practice dentist, or working in that kind of stuff just from me watching it every day. But when I told them, which they did know, I wanted to be an orthodontist, them is referring to the doctors at my practice. They knew I wanted to be, a dentist. And I told them, I'm like, oh no, like I want to go into orthodontics. And they were like, oh, like, do you like physics? And I was like,
no, thank you.
I hate physics. And she was like, the whole thing is physics. And I was like, I never even really thought of that. Because obviously when you go to dental school, you know, you're obviously learning all the specialty stuff as well to see which way you want to go. Because I feel like you have to kind of have an understanding of it. And yeah, they said that's what kept them away from orthodontics, was because of how mathematical it is. And I was like, dang, I'm like, that's crazy. So
what's the difference between like orthodontics and dentistry?
So genuinely, the people who do like the braces and stuff, they don't do any cavities. They don't do any extractions. They don't even do, I'm trying to remember. I don't think they even do like the cleanings. They literally just focus on moving your teeth around. So when you go to like the regular dentist, they're the ones who check the health of your teeth. Like, hey, you know, let's do this fill. Let's, you know, this tooth has an infection on it. We need to pull it, or it needs a root canal, that kind of stuff. The orthodontist literally just focuses on looking at your x-rays, coming up with a way to move those teeth to have them straight.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a very common misconception that like it's all kind of one practice.
Yeah.
Like I grew up in a household where it was like not really important to go unless it was an emergency.
Mm-hmm.
So like I just recently went to the dentist for the first time in a long time, and surprisingly, like it was pretty good.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, like I found out that they only really do specific things in different offices, so they had me referred to different places, and it's like, can't you just do it all here? But then they explained it, and I was like, I never really knew that before, you know, like I was just kind of thought it was one building, you know.
Something I will say, we do have a lot of patients that come in because honestly, you find a dentist and then when they're referring you to a bunch of places, it's like, I don't want to go to a bunch of places and meet someone new, and I don't know this new doctor and this and that. It pushes a lot of patients away. And actually another thing I like about the office I'm at is we have specialty teams that come in 3 times a month. We have a root canal specialist, we have an implant specialist, and we have an extraction specialist. So the doctors at my practice who are there every day doing general practice, they can do extractions. However, the doctors that I work at, they are not going to put themselves and the patient in a situation where they're like, you know, I don't feel comfortable doing this on you. I would rather you see the specialist. That way the experience is perfect. You know what I mean? And that's what I like, because you can't just have your ego high like, oh, I'll get it done. Even though it's such a long, rigorous treatment where it's like the specialist has the equipment to do that and they do it every single day, all day long. You know what I mean?
Right.
We like to bring the specialist to our practice so the patients are like, hey, I know this place, I know this building. The doctor that they're referring me to comes here, which means my doctor trusts them to work on me. So that's just one of the things that we offer to our patients, which I find,
nice.
Yeah, I really like that. So I wish that like if you were referred, I feel like maybe you would be like, if they told you from your experience, if they told you like, hey, our specialist comes, you know, next week, do you want to get scheduled? Like maybe that's something you would be like, yeah, like I'll come back here and I'll see, you know, because it's all right in the building where you just went to. You don't have to go drive to another place and you don't know this place. So yeah.
I also feel like booking appointments as adults is already like stressful as it is, and like finding the time in your schedule to go to these appointments out of your work schedule and stuff is already super hard. But like having that flexibility to go back to that place that you already had been to and like know where to go would definitely be helpful, instead of having to like find time to go to a completely different city, find the dentist, go through the dentist process, and then drive all the way back home. Like, that can be a whole day's endeavor.
Yes.
And like not everyone can get a full day off, you know, like especially during the work week. Like a lot of people work 9 to 5, like Monday through Friday, and like dentists and stuff are closed on weekends. Like a lot of healthcare stuff is. So it's like that's really nice that they have it all in the same building.
Yeah, I know it is like coming from the dental assisting side, it's so busy on those specialty days, and we have a total of 9 exam rooms. On the specialty days, they do take the back 3 exam rooms, so that leaves us the whole day with only 6 exam rooms. We have to do our best, you know. getting, as soon as the patient leaves, get that room flipped immediately to get the next patient in. But it's like we have a lot of patients, especially the new patients. They come in and they tell us their experience at a past dental office, and it's something that we have solved at our dental office. You know what I mean? So I think it makes me happy, like seeing the way that this practice is run, like trying to break those misconceptions, because it's very, very hard to find a good medical office in general. So
Right.
yeah, I really like it.
You mentioned that your aunt was a dentist, right?
Yes, yeah, she is. That also kind of helped. I would say any questions I have in terms of like what path I needed to take, I could ask her. She went the master's degree route. And, you know, that's where when I didn't get into my master's program, I went to her and I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, what other way is there that I can take to get to where I want to be? And her having went through all this before, I feel like it helped so much, and it gives me hope, like keeping me on track, you know. Any questions I have, I can definitely go ask her. But yeah, she's an amazing dentist. The doctor I work for right now, she just reminds me a lot of my aunt. And I tell her that all the time. I'm like, I just feel like you guys are so similar in the way you talk to the patients and the way, like, this is your passion. You know, it's really good to find someone where it's like, oh, they're not just doing this for the paycheck. They're not just trying to get money out of you. They're like, no, this is like what I want to do. I love helping you out. And even that's another thing. It's so easy to find, like you go in and they're like, oh, you need this, this, and this is going to cost $5,000. You know what I mean? Try to work with the patients so well, because it's like, we're not just saying you need this because, hey, we want your money. No, we're saying you need this because you need this. This is, you know, hurting you. You're in pain. There's an infection. This can get worse. And they'll work with the patient payment plans. We try to, you know, bring down the price as much as possible for them. If you can't do this today, we have, you know, this, I forgot what it's called. It's almost like a credit card. There's an interest-free credit card. There's
like a payment plan?
Yeah, and so you put it on a credit card, but you have to, like, they run your credit to see if you qualify for the interest rate. Oh, you see the cardinal up there?
You see,
Bird feeder.
I was just gonna find it out.
It's so cute. We have a boy and a girl that live back here.
Oh, cute.
No, yeah, they're so cute. Oh, the girl's actually up there too. She's sitting on the fence. She's brown. I don't know if you can see her. Oh, you can barely see her. Yeah, so cute. Literally, I'm like, that's so cute.
I say that all the time with just if I see a pair of literally anything, I'm like, oh my god,
That is,
yeah, they're all like 2 garbage cans.
oh, it's 2 garbage cans. Is that what I'm dead. That is so funny. But yeah, so we try to leave, we like to give the patients so many different options because you don't know what their situation is. So yeah, I love our office. It's also helping me kind of learn, hey, how do I want to explain this to patients? What do I want to offer patients? Like that kind of thing. So I'm learning a lot.
Do you think having your aunt as a dentist impacted you wanting to go into that degree, before you really moved from Wisconsin to Texas? And she's in Wisconsin.
So she actually she graduated, her dental school was in Illinois, and then after dental school she's in Oregon now. She's a dentist in Oregon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I want to go up there so bad. She posts pictures of the hiking she does, and oh my gosh, it's beautiful. But yeah, she's in Oregon. I would say yes, because I am afraid of the unknown, you know what I mean? I'm like, hey, she is a dentist. I have a guaranteed person that I can ask any questions about. Whereas if I went somewhere else, I would be like, I'm doing this on my own. And that would just kind of freak me out and overwhelm me a little bit. But I never really had, well, I would say I was kind of leaning towards dermatology as well. I feel like dermatology would be a lot of fun. But either way, it was something in the med field that I really wanted to do. But I guess just kind of leaning more dentistry in specific.
How did moving from Wisconsin to Texas impact your academic path and long-term goals?
That was actually wild. especially you had to start applying for colleges, start a senior year. I moved at the end of junior year. I already had ideas of what schools I wanted to apply for in Wisconsin, because there's a whole thing where if you apply to a university that's out of state, you have to pay out of state tuition, which is so much more expensive. And I was panicking down here. I was looking at, the university's tuition costs in state and out of state. And I was like, this is just wild. Like, I don't even know what are good schools. Like in Wisconsin, you're like, oh, this school's good for nursing. This school's good for, the arts. This school's good for med. It's just like, that stuff when you're applying.
Because you grew up.
Exactly. And so down here, I'm like, I don't know what schools are good. I don't know nothing. And I was doing just a lot of research. I was utilizing the counselors at the high school, just because they were also the academic, further education kind of people as well. So I was utilizing them, and I told them, like, this is what I want to do. I don't know what schools to look at. And they helped a little bit. I mean, the whole high school counselor, so I was like, they helped a little bit, but I set up tours. And that's another thing. I wasn't financially ready to move far away from my parents. So I'm like, okay, it has to be a school somewhat close. Also, I couldn't take out a lot, I had no, cause there's the different people in schools. There's people who go to college that don't need to work because they are funded. And there's people who need to go to college and actually bust their butt trying to live, go to school, and that was mine. So I'm like, okay, let me set up tours for the schools that are, around me, in a 2-hour radius. So I did. I went to the tours. There was one school in specific. I ended up applying to all of them just because I was like, oh, what happens if I only get accepted into one? You know what I mean? So I did apply to all of them. I got the exception letters back, and then I'm like, okay, well, now that I got accepted into all of them, I can go ahead and decide now which one I want to go to. So there was one that I really, really liked. I loved the campus. Pretty much that was actually the only reason. I just loved the campus. And I would say do more research, because the school that I actually chose to go to is the University of North Texas. They have an amazing arts program, band, orchestra, that kind of thing. The science program, I mean, that was rough. That was so rough. The buildings were old but they had the thing is they constantly update the art building, and and that's always good to have a school that, I'm not saying that's bad, but I wish I did my research and being like, hey, this is not a good school to go to for science. There was a whole semester, it was actually in my anatomy and physiology lab. None of the stuff for the whole semester that we were supposed to be doing labs on actually came in. So because the people who run the labs, it's not the professor, it's the TA.
Yeah.
So the TA would come in every week. It was a once-a-week class. Yeah, the stuff didn't come in yet, so we're gonna just find something to do. And they would have to make up kind of labs with no materials. And the whole semester, nothing came in. And I'm like, I paid how much money for this class, and none of the stuff came in? And then,
that's interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. Also, the microscopes. They old as dirt. There was multiple labs that I had where my microscope doesn't work. We actually have to share microscopes with each other because only 5 of them work. I'm like, okay, this is just very frustrating. I will say the chemistry building, the chemistry labs were much more favored, I guess, because the chemistry labs, they had everything, not instruments, I guess the tools and stuff they had were advanced, you were able to do what you needed. The bio labs were, oh my gosh, it was rough. It was so rough. There was actually one time It was so funny. We were doing labs on crawfish and we came in and it's like, it was a late lab. The lab started at 6 o'clock at night, okay? And it's a 3-hour lab, dude. So we show up at 6 o'clock. No one else is in the building. It's just our one lab. And the TA comes in and opens the door and they had a bucket of crawfish. The lid was off. And so we had to go find the crawfish. They were crawling around the building.
No.
I don't know if we found them all because the TA didn't even know how many we were supposed to have. But I thought that was just so freaking funny. But yeah, it was just, I really, really wish I went to a more science-based university. But I will say, you know, moving when I did, it's just I didn't have the time to.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know like what, because you know when you look up a university, the university hypes themselves up. But we have amazing, you know, science program, and then it turns out to be that. So it's like you don't know unless like you know people who went there.
Really
yeah.
Research.
Exactly. So yeah, I would say that really sucked.
Yeah, having that support system around you is really important, and I feel like that move to Texas can like that short of a time period could definitely like impact that.
You know, we also got lucky too because the whole in-state, out-of-state tuition, I forgot to mention this. We got so lucky because we were on the deadline. Pretty much, we had to show them proof that we lived in Texas for 6 months before.
I was gonna ask you about
Yes, yeah. So you had to get in-state tuition, we had to be paying taxes in Texas for 6 months, I think it was. And we had to send them like bills with our address and name on it. To be like, hey, you know, we've been here at least 6 months before I started school. And then that was what allowed me to pay in-state tuition. And I was like, if we had moved at the start of my senior year, I wouldn't have like really made it. I was like, that was so crazy. I got so lucky. Cause I mean, it was like, I think it was like 13,000 for a year in-state tuition. Out-of-state tuition, it was like 28,000. Yeah, dude. And I was like, and Aurora, that was 6 years ago now. So I don't know what it is now, but I was like, I can't double that. Like, that's just crazy. So yeah, I got so lucky.
That's absurd.
Yeah.
I've never really looked into it. I mean, like in high school, it was such a long time ago, but I didn't understand like how college worked really. Like my parents never really taught me about all that stuff. So like I was more set on just like getting as far away as possible. So my original intent was to go to SCAD, which is in Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah.
Private art school, which was like, I can't remember exactly what it was, but I'm pretty sure it was like $60,000.
A year?
I can't remember. I thought so, but I could be completely wrong. Maybe it's like $60,000 total, but like, that's also like, there's also like in-state and
right.
tuition like that could like up it. I remember John Krasinski went there, and I was like, I hadn't even watched The Office, but I was like, I'm gonna make it big, like that's all I hear, just gotta get to this college. And then end up moving out, and because I didn't have that support system, I had to like take 2 gap years and like really like fund myself. And then I came here, and it was a whole thing. But like support systems can definitely like be really influential. And like that actually leads me to my next question. You mentioned that your parents moved, I think it was like your junior or senior year of college.
Yeah.
So I'm curious how you built a support system without them. Because I know like Arkansas is probably like pretty far from Texas. So how did you manage to build a support system in Texas to help you navigate your educational journey?
Yeah, so me and Mark, we got together my sophomore year of college, and me and him, by the time my parents moved, we were together for a year, and I knew his family very, very well by that time, and I felt comfortable with them. Like there was no problem. You know, I saw, and I still see, but I saw a future, you know, with Mark, and I was like, okay, you know, there's 2 options. One, I transfer to a university up there, move with them, but me and Mark will have to be long distance. or 2, I stay here and I need to find a place to live. So obviously I didn't want to do a whole long distance thing. I didn't want to have to go through and transfer all my credits over and this and that. I had literally like a year, like 3 semesters left of college. I'm like, I'm not going to transfer. And so my parents were living in an RV at the time. And so they did go on, shortly before they moved, they went on like a trip. So me and Mark, we stayed at their RV and, you know, we watched the pets. And towards the end of the few days that we were watching the RV, he told me, he's like, I really feel like we could do this. Like, we could do something like this. Cause, you know, we didn't want to get an apartment. He was really not like, I'm not going to just put money into something that we're not going to own. And so I'm like, but there's this misconception too, where you're like, you're trailer trash, or you know what I mean? It's like, that was something where I just kept thinking to myself, I'm like, I don't want people to look down on me. Like, I just kept thinking, like, I'm worried about what other people will think of me. I'm worried about what your family will think of us. Like, you know, just that kind of stuff. And then Mark was like, Bri, like, all that matters is, you know, me and you. Like, can we pay for this? We're gonna end up owning it someday, you know, that kind of thing. So we decided, we're like, hey, like, let me finish school. Let's move into this RV and, you know, we'll get it figured out. And if we ever need anything, his parents were there too. And they told us that, like, hey, if you ever need anything, you know, we're here. And so that really helped me as well. So when my parents moved, you know, we had the RV and it's been very good ever since, but it was really scary. That's actually when my anxiety started, was when my parents moved and there was just living alone for the first time. It's just, everything falls on you. If you miss a payment, like, this can get taken away from us like that, you know? So that, it just was very scary. And then another thing, me and Mark were together for a year, you know, moved in. That was something new. And the first 6 months for both of us was very hard. I mean, you're living with someone for the first time, you're seeing them every day. So that was really difficult, but, you know, everything got better and, you know, we made it through. So if it wasn't for Mark's family, then I don't know, I would probably be up in Arkansas. But yeah, it was hard.
Yeah, the whole comparison thing, like, knowing or like thinking about what other people are going to think of you is really hard to navigate. And that, like, even goes for like anything, like even like your career or anything, like going into career, wondering what people think. And I think that all stems from, like, I mean, like, being on your own is hard too, but like a lot of the things also like lead back to like the development in your childhood, like what environment you grew up there in, like going in a small town and the trailer trash quotation, like, especially in small towns, in my experience, like, I feel like people can be so judgmental. And like in small towns especially, like, everybody knows everybody, so like people know your business. So I think one of the biggest ways that I have learned to overcome like comparison culture and stuff is just like, one, everybody has their own experiences. Like, everyone's gonna come into like trouble at some point. We're all human. And 2, like, who cares? You know, like, a lot of the stuff that I realized, I almost didn't go to school for like film or anything. I almost didn't go to school at all because I was like, people were always talking about how arts wasn't really a reliable degree and like you were only gonna make it so far.
And that's the thing too. In every movie, don't you hear the same thing? I'm like, my gosh, that's why no one wants to freaking do it, because it's in our head all the time.
Yeah. And then like recently, I like right when I made this podcast, actually, like around that time, I was like, no one, the people that I'm thinking back on who would like judge me for this stuff, like, they're not around.
Exactly.
Me. Like, so the only person around now is me. So the only person holding me back is me. So I was kind of just like, I don't really care. I'm just gonna do my own thing, you know? Like, and so like, that's kind of what you just gotta do. Unfortunately, there's always gonna be people who will judge you, but that has nothing to do with you, you know? Like, that's more their personality than yours.
I agree. Yeah, it's very like, you start realizing like when you're maturing, because it's hard when you're a kid and you grow up with that. That's how your brain is like forming, you know? And so really growing up, you're like, I just need to get that in my head, because crazy. But yeah, there was something I was gonna say about that. Like all that stuff, they don't know what I'm doing now. I don't know what's going on in their life. So if they want to make fun of me, maybe there's something going on in their life that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just having that mindset is a very good mindset to like move on.
Yeah. Do you think that Sorry, you go ahead.
It does suck though, because like the RV park we live at, it's a lot of like retired people, and it's like, you know, they just want to do the RV life. But me and Mark, we've been living here 2 years now, and there's been like a lot more younger people and they stay on the permanent side, because there's like a temporary side where people just come to camp, and then there's a permanent residency side. And there's been like quite a bit more people that, you know, they get up, they go to work in the morning when I go to work in the morning, you know, they're like living here, you know what I mean? So it makes me feel better. I'm like, we're all doing.
You guys just got ahead of the game. I feel like there's going to be so many more people who will follow.
I know, I feel that way too.
Living is expensive.
Yeah. I was thinking about making like a TikTok page.
Oh, you should. You're living my best life, honestly. Like, I would kill to like my freshman year, after like burnt myself up really bad. I really wanted to like remodel a bus and like live out of the bus and like travel.
Yeah.
But I have really bad motion sickness, so I was like, not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like it's not an aesthetic. I mean, like to some people it might be, but like it is more of a unique perspective, you know, that a lot of people don't know about, and just like sharing your story is like especially influential.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, and I also think to myself, I'm like, I know there's gonna be, like, if I do it, I know there's gonna be rude comments here and there, but no matter what you do, no matter what you post, there's always gonna be rude comments. So I'm just kind of like, maybe I'm just gonna do it. Like, even there's been people who pop up on my TikTok where they just like do a camper reset video where they're like, oh, clean my camper with me, and they just like show their day like just in their camper, or like just anything. I feel like even winter preparations, or, you know, just anything. I feel like I would be interested in that. I feel like
I would be interested in it, just like seeing it.
Dude, it's just, I really want to, well, me and Mark really want to get a truck, because we don't have anything to pull our RV right now. So that kind of sucks. But then I think like, I mean, we're not really like traveling in it right now. So I was like, well, whatever.
Right.
But yeah.
Going forward, like, was dental school the plan from day one, or did you have a few things you wanted to study?
Okay, I would say dental school maybe wasn't the plan from day one. It was definitely like top two things I wanted to do. Either A, like go the dermatology route, or B, go the dentistry route. So I was like, okay, for undergrad, I know for a fact I'm doing a science degree. Like, because I need a science degree to move on to, you know, like a professional med school. So that was me being like, okay, this buys me some time to like kind of figure out exactly what I want to do, because I knew for a fact I needed to get a science degree. But then I really don't know when the shift was. I think it was more of like they had pre-med and then they had pre-dent, and pre-med just seemed way too wide range for me, where I was like, that's just kind of freaks me out a little bit. That's too much. Where pre-dent was like straight line, and I was like,
right.
I think I feel more comfortable going pre-dent. And even in the dentistry world, there's still like a few different specialties you can go into. But yeah, I was like, I really just want to kind of focus my energy towards this one thing. And it helped a lot too, because, you know, with me, there's a bunch of stuff in the dental field that you can do. I mean, even right now, like if money's a concern or something, I could go back to school for hygiene. If I want to go the manager route, I can go ahead and go into business and start, hey, working my way up because I'm a part of a corporate company, you know what I mean? So I can work my way up in other ways if being a dentist isn't gonna work out for me, you know what I mean? So I'm kind of seeing all parts of the office being like working in the office, and that's kind of opening up my eyes to like a whole set of things that I can do. So that's really cool. Also corporate, I can like move, like I don't have to just stay at this one office. I can like, there's other offices I can go to if we decide to move. So that's cool.
Reassuring.
Yes.
It's worth it, like being on your own.
Exactly.
It's so that like you're not like alone in a sense.
Yeah. And also it's like being corporate, I feel like I don't have, because there's always like, when I look at the other dental offices that are like privately owned, what happens if the doctor retires? What do I do? Like, is another dentist gonna come in, or are you just shutting down the practice? Like, where's my job going, you know? Like, as a corporate office, your job will always like be there, I feel like. So it's just, like that sense of security really helps.
Speaking of sense of security, I have a nonsense thing. You started school around COVID,
yes.
right? So that was like when everything went virtual.
Yeah.
So how did that affect your ability to stay involved as a commuter?
Yeah, so Dixie, stop. That really sucked. So my school, they required freshmen to live on campus for the first year. Like, unless you lived within like a 20-mile radius from the school or something like that. So I was required to live on campus. However, with COVID, they were like, this year we are not requiring freshmen to live on campus because there was really nothing to do.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, I am living on campus. I really want to live on campus, right? So first semester, living in the dorm, had a blast, kind of, everything was closed. But I was looking at the clubs, but it was hard because they didn't really have I'm not gonna go walk to the main building on campus because the main building was like pretty much closed all the time because of COVID. And so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna join these clubs. Then I just kind of got more and more frustrated because for the first few months, the clubs, they weren't actively, going because they were like, hey, like COVID, whatever. So after the first semester, I was like, I don't want to pay $5,000 because for one semester it was like $5,000 to live in the dorm, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go home the next semester and save some money. That second semester I lived from home, didn't have to commute yet because all the classes were still online. The start of my sophomore year was when it was like half and half. Some classes were still virtual, others were in person. And then the clubs were starting to kind of meet in person. But at the time, I would only go to campus like once or twice a week because I would only have 1 or 2 classes in person. And I had to drive, an hour and a half one way and go to class for an hour, drive back home. So I was driving longer than I was on campus for. And I was like, I would drive there, and I would finish the class, and I'm like, either if the club was meeting that day, it was either a few hours before my class or a few hours after my class. I'm like, I'm not staying, like I need to drive home. Or the clubs are meeting up on a day where I'm not on campus. I'm not gonna waste the gas to drive all the way up there. 3-hour drive total just for a little club meeting. Like, no. Yeah. And that sophomore year was just me like, dude, I'm not doing this. And then junior year came, and junior year was a lot of stuff was going on. That was when, me and Mark started trying to live together, and I was working, and I think I was working 2 jobs actually at the time. And I'm like, no, I drive to school to do my classes, and I leave right after my classes. And then the clubs, meeting people, being involved never really came to me. So that really sucked because I knew I wanted to go to a professional school afterwards, but it's just like the resume just wasn't there. And then junior and senior year, my grades started, I still had to pass the classes, but they were definitely not like a high passing. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, it sucked because, oh my gosh, there was so much stuff. I got in a car accident driving home from school one day, and then I had to go to physical therapy, and me and Mark were still trying to work, and me drive to school, and it was a lot. I'm like, I just need to pass these classes with a C just so I can graduate. And that was the time where, the classes became way more difficult, where you have to spend a lot of time studying. And it's just like, I just didn't have the time. Like, there was just so much stuff going on. So that's what really sucked just about being a commuter student, because I envied the people who didn't have to work and could just live on campus. And I'm going to spend all day in the library today and study. Like, I wish I could do that. But I live way too far away from campus to just drive there to use the library, which, I could use the library like here, like a random library. But I was like, I just didn't, it was just a lot. But yeah, it was difficult.
How did you stay motivated during that difficult time?
Probably just realizing like my money is going into this, and I really need to just like get my degree, because I'm paying thousands of dollars and I can't be doing this for nothing. Or even like if I didn't pass my classes, I would have had to stay another semester, take out another loan to get those classes passing. So it was like, I just need to lock in, pass these classes so I can graduate and not spend any more money at this school. So
yeah,
it was just, that's the part that motivated me, was just because I had so much money into it already.
I know you said that the university didn't have like a too good of a science program, but do you think that there was anything specific that prepared you the best, whether it be at University of North Texas or what was your certified?
Yeah, for my dental assisting.
Yeah.
At the Pure Dental Assisting Academy, that was like a 7-week program for certified.
Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty quick.
How did all of that help you prepare for your current role as a dental?
I would say my degree in itself didn't really help me at all.
Besides the paperwork, of course.
Yes, that for sure. Also, like some stuff just like kind of about, my science classes about like the human body and stuff like that. I could kind of like, I have that knowledge like here because it is important. But the Pure Dental Assisting Academy, they really helped. Like you learn a lot in that 7-week program. A lot of it is surface level, but they do like, because you do learn a lot more when you're on the job, but they give you everything you need to know to get a role in a dental office and just continue to grow. Really liked how it's such a quick program because you have people fresh out of high school, you have people who are parents who are trying to find a job where they're like, hey, I want to go into dentistry, but I don't have the time to go to school for a few years, There were people from like everywhere just like, hey, like, I want to be a dental assistant, and it's a quick program. You finish it and you start applying. And I would say it did take me a little bit longer to get a position. I finished the assisting academy in April, and then I was applying, didn't really hear much, but then August, I got an interview in June, and then it was a 2-step interview process. So the second interview was like about 2 weeks later, and I found out I got the job in July, but I had to put in a 2 weeks notice at my current job, and so I didn't start until the first week of August. So I would say, I guess it was pretty quick, but there was that May, June, wasn't really hearing much, and then ended June. Yeah, so pretty good. I'm still grateful for such a quick program though. And yeah, I've only ever continued learning more and more at work. So really fun.
Rori's Room is written and produced by myself, Rori Nicole, and you can find the show wherever you get your podcasts. Theme songs and background music were produced by TJ Borkenhagen. You can follow Rori's Room on Instagram at Rori's Room, and follow me at itsrory_x for updates on the show and a few more glimpses into life behind the mic. If you enjoyed today's episode, drop a review wherever you listened in. The goal of this show is to share my story and the stories of others in a way that makes people feel a little less alone. The next episode will be on August 9th, 2026, where we will be sitting down with full-time nanny Elaine Williams. Tune in the following week, August 16th, for the final part of Brianna's episode. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you all next time in Rori's Room.